Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Got a quick video for you today, guys. I want to talk about something important. I want to talk about a mistake that I made earlier on in this week, and one that I'm still suffering the consequences of, to be honest with you. It's a pretty big mistake, and it's cost me the difference between making a profitable trade and making a loss-making trade. So I wanted to share it with you guys. I think it's important. I'm going to tell you what I think, where I think I went wrong, and what I think I can do in future to stop this from happening again. But I'd be interested to hear back from anyone who's watching the video. If you see something else that I'm doing wrong, or you've got any tips or advice, I'd be happy to hear back. And also, if you have any stories you want to share yourself as well about any mistakes you made recently or anything you've learned, I'd love to hear as well down in the comment section down below. As I said in my last video, guys, this channel is pretty much brand new. We're just getting started here, so I'd really appreciate it if you like the video, if you'd hit like and subscribe down below. It really helped me out. So before I get into the mistake, what I wanted to say is, at the moment, guys, trading this market is very, very difficult. This is probably the most difficult market conditions I've traded since I started trading, and that's going back a couple of years now. I actually think that, especially from a fundamental point of view, I trade mostly sort of a fundamental style of trading where I kind of use a lot of what I see to kind of build a picture, and then I try to enter a trade, based off technicals from that sort of fundamental picture that I've built up. So I think, as I'm sure you guys all know at the moment, the market is just sort of broken almost. Nothing is making sense. Everything is kind of all over the shop. Fundamentals don't matter at the moment, and a lot of the currency pairs are very choppy, very rangy, sort of up one day, down the next day. Especially as well, I'm kind of more of a long-term trader, swing trader type style of trading, so I like to hold my positions. I like to try and get the maximum value out of them, but of course, everything is just reversing, up, down, up, down, up, down. All the pairs are like this. If you look back over the last few weeks, we see a lot of these sort of ranging situations. So yeah, it's just been difficult, guys. And I probably should have learned a few mistakes, a few lessons already from this, but this is probably where my mistake today comes from. But anyway, what I will say, guys, if you're making money in this market, if you're profitable over the last sort of 3 or 4 months, well, I mean, I take my hat off to you guys. Well done, fair play to you, because you're absolutely killing it. And as soon as this market returns to sort of any sort of regular function in the next few months or so, you're going to make an absolute fortune. So well done to you. But I'm finding it difficult at the moment. Anyway, the last few weeks in particular. So what happened to me? Okay, so if you watch my videos from Sunday, and if you watch my videos from last week, you'll know that I've been in the Euro Aussie. I was long Euro Aussie going into the end of last week, and then into the start of this week. Now, fundamentally, guys, I think my viewpoint on the position is still the same. I haven't changed my mind on this trade. I still want to be long Euro Aussie, and I still am long Euro Aussie. You can see I'm still in this position right now, and still getting my ass kicked by it as well. So what happened, right? Well, if you looked at my I don't know if you follow my Instagram, guys, I put some trades up here, and I put sort of updates on how the trades are going on here as well. And I put up this picture here on Monday afternoon. And you can see here, I had quite a decent sized position built into the trade, and everything was going good. We're following this trend line here. We were above the moving averages, and we were coming up to test this area of resistance up here, this kind of swing area where we've had this range, this area of consolidation that we've been in for the last sort of number of weeks. And we were coming up to test it, and of course what I was looking for was hopefully the breakout this time above this area, and then continuation onwards. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what people should be doing. They should be looking to hold their trades to get the maximum value out of it, I think. Especially if you're a swing trader, you don't want to be just taking your position, your profits when you just get to your first target or whatever like that, guys. So the idea is the longer you can hold your positions for, when you finally do get onto the back of a move, the better it's going to be, because you're going to make more profit. Now, what was my mistake this week? That wasn't my mistake. Trying to hold this trade for as long as I could is not the mistake. The mistake I made was that I got greedy. I've been searching for the last 6 weeks or 8 weeks for the big trade. I've been very, very bearish on the market, of course. You'll have seen in my last few videos, I've been extremely bearish on the markets. I'm fully in the belief that we're going to get some sort of big correction, and we're going to get a huge risk off move at some point in the near future. It doesn't seem to be coming, doesn't seem to be happening. Maybe I'm wrong on it. I'm starting to come around to the fact that I might be wrong on it, but it doesn't change the fact that what's happened. I was and am bearish in the market. So I've been waiting on these kind of home run type trades. I've been looking for the Australian dollar to kind of tank, and then I was hoping the euro being in a little bit of a better situation fundamentally at the moment would hold up a little bit better, and we'd get this kind of move up towards 160s, the high 160s at least. So that's the view. I still think that might happen, but obviously it hasn't happened this week. So the mistake I made, guys, was I got up to here and we broke through this area, and it looked like we were going to hold it, actually, because I don't have the screenshot of this, but the price action moved up above this area. Actually, I can show you on the chart here. Yeah, so here it is, and everything looked good. Prior to this red candle forming, of course, everything looked really good, and I thought, okay, happy days, we're in this now. We're going to get a good trade out of this. But my mistake was that I didn't take a partial here. I should have taken a partial here, guys. That's what I should have done. I had about $320 or $330 of running P&L at that point. Now, guys, these are not huge numbers, I know, but I'm trading like a $5,000 account. So $320 or $330 is like 6.5% of my account. So it's actually a decent sized trade. So I don't know why I didn't think to take a partial here. I should have taken at least half the position size off, banked 150 or 160 quid, which would have been 3% of my account, and then just maybe even just put the stops at break even and then just call it a day. Let it do what it wants to do and see if it wants to break higher and continue, and if it does, great. If it wants to come back down, it'll stop me at a break even, and I've made 3.5% of my account. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I should have done, but unfortunately I got greedy. I thought, okay, this is it. We're finally getting the big move. We're breaking out of the range. We're going higher. I'm going to hold everything, and I'm going to try and make the maximum out of this. I had targets up here in my head, here, and this was going to be $1,000 trade, and everything was brilliant. So I guess for future reference, this is what I need to learn. This is what's happened to me, I'd say probably 3 or 4 times now in the last couple of weeks. I get myself into these positions, I get profit, I get a huge, a decent amount of profit on the, on my running P&L. And then I just seem to forget that the market is very rangy at the moment, and we're just not getting these moves that we're looking for. And I really should be looking to take profits early. But I'm just getting too greedy, and I'm just looking for bigger trades than are maybe available, let's say, at the moment. So what happens then is, the next thing that happens is then you get into this situation then, right, where you get a pullback. You had maybe $330 of profit here. You sit through this whole pullback here, which this again, probably another mistake I should have made. I should have looked at this as a failure to break out here. That's what I should have recognized this as. I should have said, okay, look, this is failing to break out. We've come pretty much all the way back into the range here. And I probably still had about $200 and odd profit here at this point. I should have just probably closed out the whole position right there and then, took my profit, and then just sat on hands and saw, wait to see what happened. But again, like I said, I have this fundamental belief. I really like this Euro Aussie long as a long-term trade. So I kind of said to myself, okay, well, look, I don't mind. I'll sit through a pullback, I'll hold it. Maybe we come back and we retest this moving average here and we go higher again, which initially looked like it was going to happen. But then again, we collapsed down again. So, it gets to a point then, guys, where, you've watched your P&L go from a high, a high level all the way back down to close to zero. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I hope this comes back, or you know, what do I do? Should I get out? Should I just close it? Should I take the money that I have now? You know, why didn't I close it when I had $320? You know, I'm sure we've all been there, guys. You know, you go through this in your head, you know, what I should have done, but you're still in the trade, and you know, it causes you, I think it causes you to make further mistakes. So yeah, I ended up kind of just going, look, okay, maybe we'll just come back into the range and then we'll go higher again, who knows. So I just kind of said, look, I'm just going to hold it. I put my stops down, you know, sort of under this area here, and I was risking about $150 or so on those positions. And unfortunately, you know, that's what happened. The Australian dollar ran higher yesterday, you know, quite surprisingly actually, because, you know, there's been some bad news with Australia. Yesterday there was an announcement that Melbourne has gone back into lockdown, and you know, obviously there's a lot of risk off, or sort of negative risk data and news and stuff like that at the moment. So I just kind of felt like, you know, the Australian dollar shouldn't be going on these crazy runs higher. But I guess yesterday was the end of the quarter, the end of the month flows and things like that. So we've probably seen some unusual moves in the market yesterday, which I didn't factor in either. And then anyway, long story short, guys, back down to the lows. I hit my stops and I lost $157.93 yesterday, which is a kick in the arse. So, you know, you've gone from, okay, happy days, we're all on the gravy train, we're making profits this week, to a loss-making trade of 100. Now, I should have never let it go to this. That's another mistake. I should have just put my stops at zero and just, you know, took my medicine. But, you know, again, another mistake I made that I need to learn from. So I'm still in this trade, guys. I have some positions that I took yesterday in this trade. Nothing major at the moment. I'm just basically wanting to see if this area holds. You can see we're in this there's an entire range here. This is right, we're right at the lows of the range now. So if we break lower here, probably just close out and then, you know, look to re-enter again further down. I do want to be in this trade. As I said, if you watch my video from Sunday, you'll see exactly why I want to be in this trade. I talk about the euro and why I want to be long the euro at the moment as opposed to the Australian dollar. So go back and watch that video if you want to find out why. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the mistake. That's what happened. Bit of a shitty week because of it, but hey ho, look, these things happen. You learn from your mistake and you move on. And hopefully, you know, in the long run, this trade will eventually pay me back all that money, and we'll get up to the high 160s like we hope. So, you know, I've got to keep myself in this trade, you know, just to sort of, you know, to kind of play it out the way I want to see it happen. So I will be doing that anyway. Guys, if you liked the video anyway, I'd appreciate it, as I said, if you'd like and subscribe. Any questions, put them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to try and, you know, answer anything I can for you. And I hope the rest of your week goes well, guys. I hope your trading goes good for the rest of the week, and good luck. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye bye.